My mother herself is an artist. She was very much oriented into music, and she wanted to release a lot of albums with Anuradha Podwal, Suresh Wadkar, and other people. Right? We also have like a unreleased album with Javed Ali, etc. She released around 100 plus songs of bhajan and devotional music with this XYZ label. They, of course, distributed it, they created CDs. The thing is, the YouTube videos are getting high number of views on like a lot of songs, but my mother is getting no revenues. Even if the distribution is there, the traction is there, it's the label that's benefiting out of it. The system is also very well opaque. Blockchain comes and gives the artist like the power in their own hands.
Hi everyone, welcome to another video. Today I have Samruddhi with me. She is one of the early adopters of Web3 in India. She has worked with multiple Web3 companies, helped their growth. She is also developing her own DAO. We talk a lot about these NFTs, DAOs, Metaverse. You will gain perspective on how you can start your own DAO. So smash the like button. Let's get started and do watch till the end.
So I did one very crazy thing, I would say. Yeah, I
Rug
was,
pull.
no, I would, what I did was that I wasn't sure on my hand only that what am I doing, like do I really know all of these things. So I started learning that okay, no, I want to do some experiential learning, and this is how I ended up on this Facebook group where I just typed in like, hey guys, I'm looking for an experiential job, work in like a very I want to learn things rather than be at a certain position. I said that my interest is in music, and I would like to know, if there is anyone working in this field and might need the skills. And there was one guy called as Abhishek Krishna who was tagged by his colleague or friend who said that, hey, Samruddhi XYZ, you can contact me here or DM me. Abhishek is, he's been in the space from since 2016, 17. He's been closely following all of these. He's an IIT Roorkee graduate, and he was based out of Goa, and he was working on a project called Musics, which was basically a blockchain based company or like a solution that was made for the artists, and that was going to help build a creator economy, that is the CTE, create to earn economy, right? I like He was very smart and he knew a lot about this space, like what blockchain is, what NFTs are, what how it's going to benefit the artists. And being a musician myself and coming from a music background, I really thought that okay, this seems like very revolutionary, and anyway I have to I want to experience things. So I started working with him, and it was a long distance, mostly remote work that I was doing. And every day we would connect, and for an hour or two he would give me a lot of knowledge and orientation in this space. And then I got very interested also, right?
Okay.
It's so complicated, the space, but once you start hearing it from a person who knows stuff and who could break down very well, I think I got very nicely oriented in the space. And I'll tell you how the product has transitioned now, right? It is called as the Create protocol. And
Okay.
Create protocol is basically a create to earn protocol, in which this is a economy that helps artists get the right amount through blockchain. Like initially what we were planning was more like something like audience, where artists could put their music and earn in blockchain, right? Eventually then the whole when we created like the whole roadmap, we started with building a NFT marketplace for artists, such that so our intention and vision was to give the right amount of money that artists deserve, right? So this NFT marketplace would be for these artists to come put their art, and of course with the good beautiful technology that blockchain is, and the smart contracts that are implied, every time the NFT is getting resold and resold, a certain share of amount will definitely keep on coming back to artists. They don't have to rely on the big labels, which unfortunately was happening a lot and is still happening. You still see it, right? And nature of the industry is very oligopolistic. That's why only a few people have the power in hand.
On one hand, you can go to the marketplaces, just sell your NFTs or music as NFTs. But on the other hand, you won't get the distribution of these big media labels and the collaborations which they do with so many other brands and all.
Of course. Now, I would like give a very personal example of this. Well, my mother herself is an artist. She's MA in light music and she has a diploma in
Oh.
Shastriya Sangeet also. She was very much oriented into music and she wanted to release a lot of albums with Anuradha Podwal, Suresh Wadkar, and other people, right? We also have like a unreleased album with Javed Ali, etc., and
Oh,
Kumar
nice.
Sanu, etc. So this is long back before he even got famous. During his Kajrare time, I would say. Uh,
Oh.
anyway, so since she was into music and all, and she thought big labels are really supportive, and if I get to connect with these labels and I release music with them, I'm going to become famous. Now she released around 100 plus songs of bhajan and devotional music with this XYZ label. They posted it they of course distributed it. They created CVs. The thing is, the YouTube videos are getting high number of views on like a lot of songs, right? All of this is happening, but my mother is getting no revenues. Even if the distribution is there, the traction is there, it's the label that's benefiting out of it,
Okay.
right? And if you want to do marketing on these stuff, you have to pay extra to the labels. When you're creating these music production, you are paying everything to the studios and which are owned by these companies, and basically it's it's like your passion project
Hmm.
which you create, then you sell it off to someone. The person distributes, and whatever money comes, only he keeps, and you are just like a basically a medium to earn
But
money from both sides. You get it?
there must be a contract in between stating that whenever I sell or I get these number of views or whatever, these many copies sold, X percentage of I will make X and X percentage of that
Yeah,
revenue will go to you.
ideally, yes. Ideally, yes, that should
Okay.
happen. But like we talked about the graphs, right? Oligopolistic, they're not really fair. There are a lot of artists who want to, be featured as, part of. They want to have that tag of that I have released through XYZ. So then, people are ready to, not even know what. Like most of them don't even know that such contracts can be in place,
Hmm.
or have like a legal advisor who can put and keep a
Yes.
check on all of these. Not just that, the system is also very well opaque, right? Everything is in their control, so they can choose where, like even if they want to put ads on their YouTube channel and they're earning revenue from it, you don't know, like a lot of
There's
things
no
will
way
be
to
opaque.
transparently go to their dashboard and check
Yeah,
what exactly are they
exactly. Yeah,
making.
that is the way blockchain comes and gives the artist like the power in their own hands. My point being that artists now what they have to do is they need to focus on how they're going to market themselves
Yeah.
and put their art on blockchain, right? And they can clearly see that, okay, if the person is using this art and this music, then I am getting this money, or
Hmm.
like he wants to get some this, then you get. So you can see everything very transparently. There is no opaqueness or trust issues.
Can you give an example of how, if let's say Sony Music transform their entire business to a blockchain-based royalty system
Hmm.
for creators, or what will be the pros and cons of that system?
The main benefit that will happen is that there will be transparency, and also not just that, like an artist, when he is signing that, okay, 20% is something that I'll be getting, 80% is something that you will be getting,
Hmm.
or any sort of this is going to happen, everything is going to be in place. No one needs to be mediating and fighting for each other. Smart contract hai to this will be given and it will be shown ki aisa hi hai and this is how it's going to be happening. And even if, like there's some sort of an exploitation, that would be visible. And even if it's fair sort of distribution, and if there's like a hoax that is happening, right? Ki music pay, there is like a wrong blame that any artists are putting, that no, we are doing so much for you and you're not giving us anything in return. So music can also benefit out of it, that no dude, like look at this is how it's being done, I can show it to the world.
Because it's very difficult for an individual to fight with brands with so much money and
Yeah.
resources.
I can't think of what cons it can bring, or
Hmm.
For example, right now, of course, a lot of things in the world are in the blockchain world are very well glamorized. Eventually, many of the things might just be very normal and like obvious.
So are you part of some DAOs since we are talking about it?
So there are two DAOs that I'm already building.
So you
One
are
is,
building your own DAOs
yeah,
as well.
one like I'm helping. So there's a DAO which my company and my founder is building, and I'm helping her out in that. And so it's gonna be like a women-led DAO, which is going to help other women entrepreneurs to fund their projects,
This you are
etc.
talking about Uniform, right?
This is through Uniform. This is Tarusha
Okay.
Mittal's project,
Okay.
which is soon going to be published.
Okay.
And second DAO that I am working on is actually my baby project. So the thing is that uh, when I was actually, till November or so, I learned a lot about blockchain, but there was so much that still needed to be learned. So what I did was I opened like a meetup community in which I would every weekend I would take webinars on what the different concepts in the blockchain are or Web3 are. Slowly, I started getting like a repeat people who were coming and taking notes and actually were finding it valuable. So with that, I realized that there are a lot of people who are really core to my webinar community. And what I did was I created my own Telegram group. So the my meetup community now has reached to around 600 people. And my Telegram has only like the people who are genuinely into my basically knowledge sharing and wanting like the whole vision of growing together and helping each other out. Now that I'm taking the webinars together, I thought it will be very good and sensible thing would be to actually work on some projects, small projects. So this is the DAO that we are working on. Yeah, we are building something now. We do have propositions of getting collaborated with some bigger protocols. Of course, creating a DAO is simple. You need to have like tokens and token holders. That is the community that you'll be having, a place where the governance will take place. Aragon or a snapshot, etc. And then you also need to have a manifesto or like how the governance is going to take place, kind of a SOP. So this is like a Uniswap. Uniswap again has a DAO, right? This they mention that this is the amount of tokens that we have. This is for what is the distribution of the token, and mostly it's going to be for the uniform community members. What it's going to be used for: Uniswap governance, community treasury. So these are the ways in which governance holders can actually make decisions on, and then how they are going to be able to submit the proposal. That is also part of like a manifesto. Similarly, like any other DAO, if you know of, like Maker DAO hai, Aave hai, all of these will have their own sort of ways in which their governance will work. It is very much like how ideally people had thought like democracy is going to work like, and it's kind of democracy is also it has its own roots in making the system more decentralized. Let's see how it turns out eventually, right?
So a very good motive with the community support. That's all you need to create a DAO. So the platform which you were showing is called Notion.
Hmm.
And we have the Aragon platform easily lets you create all the token and all the governance setup. Barrier to create Web3 companies is way lower compared to Web2.
Anyone and everyone can create a DAO for sure, right? But when you start interacting with customers, or you are planning to get in inculcate some sort of a revenue generation streams in your DAOs, etc., then your basically organization needs to be registered as a company, right? And then again, like the problem with currently DAO is that the most of the legal systems don't know where does DAO fall in. It's not an LLP. It's not a corporate. It's very close to a cooperative, but
Yes.
it's definitely not a private limited company or like an NGO. Like I think eventually they will have more clarity, and we will also have more clarity in there. Like I think the only thing that stops anyone from getting into the space is the fear, or like fear of not being smart enough, or I don't know what, like because you have to start somewhere. Anyone who wants to get into this space and understand it, they have to start somewhere. But just that fear needs to be eliminated. You need to go slow, and you can't be like a genius in a day, right? Slowly, as you keep on studying, you'll know these things. You just have to trust the process and go with it.
There was someone, a guiding or mentor side, sort of personality who taught you the building blocks of Web3. Like, okay, this is blockchain, this is NFTs, these are the things which you can do with it. It's just that the initial things people need to learn and they can develop anything. And the fear aspect, yes, definitely there is. Most of the people think whenever they talk about blockchain or Web3 as gambles. So it's not
Mhm.
only about earning crypto returns, it's
Exactly.
also about the underlying technology, which could enable you to unlock things which earlier wasn't even possible or wasn't even thinkable.
Absolutely. I think you made a very good point. The people who work in Web3, they are the ones who believe in the technology and see the beauty and the power that it holds, right? As the technology. There's a lot of hype about crypto investment in, especially in India, right? And then now the market is crashing, then they might be giving a lot of gallias to these
Yeah,
these,
like सब
industries.
कुछ scam है पूरा यही
Everything,
खराब है.
yeah, everything is, all our meme coins, all our shit coins, and of course, like, but then that's the thing, right? People who are going to hold are going to hold it in the long run also, because they are holding it for believing in what they stand for and believing in the technology.
How interesting do you find metaverse thing, and would you like to talk about that?
Metaverse is where everything is going to lead to, in my opinion. Of course,
Yes.
things are getting meta in general, like not, Facebook is not the only one which is changing to
They just
meta.
got the name first.
Yeah, they had the first movers in there, but a lot of big companies are getting into metaverse. All the technologies, I think, are coming together to form this real possibility that is metaverse, which seemed like a science fiction a while back. Even today, if you have your on Horizon, which is like, it's a project, Horizon is a project by Facebook, right? And it's a community space in which you can actually buy shops, right? I think Wendy's already has opened their shop, metaverse shop, in Horizon. You have Sandbox. In Sandbox, Snoop Dogg is actually coming and performing events. We did have like a lot of stuff like Fortnite. Like, there's a world inside your phone or your
Absolutely.
screens, that you are actually venturing. Your Fortnite
Pe-
also had
People spend
concerts.
days in their Minecraft games building their
Yeah,
stuff. So it's
yeah,
like their own property, which they are quite
exactly.
senti about.
Only limitation that these kind of products or projects had was that the money that you earned there,
Hmm.
you could not turn it into real money and buy things. But now
Ah,
you can, right? If you
using
have,
NFTs and
you
all.
can see a sync that has happened is
Hmm.
very real, and it has a lot of utility. NFTs, cryptocurrencies are going to be very and virtual reality
Hmm.
and AI and deep learning, all of these are going to come together and make very strong metaverse, and you will be able to experience it very soon, right? Things are going to be on metaverse in very little time. Like, even Microsoft has its office workspaces that have been built on metaverse, and like, all you need to do is wear your virtual reality glasses. And this problem, right, now that we are facing, right, we are both of us are talking in virtual reality, like, we are
I
talking
wish
in a
there was a
different.
hologram right here. It would
Exactly.
have been way easier. I would not have to look over the camera over here. Just talk.
Exactly, and we could have just sat much more casually. We could talk, like, now that I'm doing my hand gestures
That's
over
not
here,
fair.
you can't see all of these things, right, which are so much important part of body language. Not just that, like, I can't just open my screen here and show you cool things. That all of these
Yeah.
will be possible very soon. And also, one problem that I really find really problematic in current workspace that we're doing, that is remote work or virtual working, is that you are only always looking at a screen. You are actually really ruining your back, your neck, you're sitting for long hours at single place. If you
Hmm.
could like have a space, and you could walk around, run around, you could travel around, and you can still be on the work calls and all. So these things will now be possible, right? I'm just like, I'm very hopeful about the metaverse. I think you could have.
For your own DAO, if you want to create a metaverse, what would be like?
It's gonna be like a place where you learn, understand a lot of things, not just through like having the books,
Okay.
but you visualize things, and it'll be like a very 3D learning module, I would say.
Yeah.
And it will be a place for a lot of people to just come, share their knowledge, interact, and have like a meetups within the metaverse.
Hmm.
And of course, being the person that I am, having offline meetups and all are very crucial. I feel like even if it's online,
Hmm.
everything is on metaverse, I would still want some things that are offline that people would be able to pursue through the metaverse, and if they are not being able to attend, they could just watch it.
If I was to develop just one sci-fi technology which I could ever do, that would be teleportation. Metaverse is kind of a thing which is very close to teleportation if all the things happen.
Yeah.
So that's
Absolutely. See, to be honest, I have a lot of ideas in my head, and there are so many projects that I'm working on right now that I don't want to infringe my their intellectual properties.
yeah.
But I think the world is going to be really crazy very soon. Even when you talk about all of these haptic sensors and everything, right?
Hmm.
These are all realities,
Yes.
and these are all things that will happen. The world is going to be basically a lot more bigger than what it is. For a reason, it's not just a universe, it's a metaverse, because the whole time and space, interspatial, intertemporal things
Spatial
are going to
travel.
be
Yes.
happening very soon. You can have, like, you can be like the Rick and Morty's of
Oh
the whole
yes, yes,
world.
yes. Oh,
Everyone
Kafi.
can go to very crazy worlds and come back with really the experience that will leave you with exhilaration.
Hmm.
I think it's also going to transform a lot when it comes to the education aspect of how we are going to perceive. Right now, you have only these books.
Hmm.
Then later on, you can actually visit your Maharajas and look at their
You can
palace.
actually visualize all the things that is going in the history,
Yeah.
the space as well. For example, we all think that there is a solar system, the sun is in the center, and we are revolving like this. But if you zoom out a little bit and look at the Milky Way, then this is the center of the black hole which resides in our Milky Way, and
Hmm.
the solar system is like this, and the angle of the solar system, the whole plane is tilted like this, and the
Hmm.
stars are the earth is
Going
going
there.
like
Yeah.
this. So if you look in real time, our earth is going like helical and in a very very different manner as we consider this. So
Hmm.
than what we think of. So actually
Hmm.
visualizing those things through our interplanetary space travel
Yeah.
metaverse, that's
Yeah.
really cool. Maybe we can go to the
Yeah.
Mars even before Elon Musk.
It feels really good to feel the same kind of excitement over these technologies, and I really wish that so many people should feel this. They could. I wish all of them knew that okay, this is coming. Are you like up for it, and are you like excited? Because a
Yes.
lot of things can be built now. This is the perfect time for any, like, you are the one who are into metaverse, and you might as well start being like a metaverse entrepreneur right away, and start putting in some ideas and building things, because you will still be like one of the first movers.
Yes, it's still too early, especially in India.
The future is here, and let's deep dive into it.
Yeah.
Bhagni.
What? Thank you so much. That's all for this episode. Hope you liked it. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, do hit the like and subscribe button. Do follow Samruddhi and her work. Comment down below if you want me to bring someone specific. And see you next time. Thank you so much.